Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Well, we've managed to avoid any serious flooding issues so far, but more heavy rain could be on the way, and our severe weather alert day continues. Meteorologist Evan Hatter joins us now with the latest. Evan?
That's right, Steve. We were talking to you about a half an hour ago, and we have now expanded that flash flood watch to include much of the rest of the area. The only exceptions at the moment, not under the this is a flood watch, not under the flood watch, Powell, Menifee, Morgan, Elliott, and Rowan, not under the flood watch. Everybody else is, starting tomorrow morning and running through early on Friday morning as we watch the potential for another 1 to 3 inches of rain push into the mountains. I-64 at Moorhead right now. It's a soggy scene, at least a dreary scene, with a little bit of that drizzle working through as well. Same thing on the Mountain Parkway at Slade. At this hour, temperatures where we've seen the clouds and the cold air continue, we're in the low to middle 30s, a few upper 30s as well. But look down to the south and east. It's 61 in Jonesville right now, but we're starting to see colder air push in. Now 48 in Harlan, 49 in Middlesboro, but it's still in the 60s out into parts of southwest Virginia. They're getting a little bit of sunshine, but everybody else socked in with the clouds, and that will foretell the return of rain showers as we head into the into the evening hours for us here on our Wednesday night. 38 for the low. We're talking about we've avoided major flooding issues so far. So far, only 2 flood advisories in effect along the Kentucky River at Ravenna and the Kentucky River at Heidelberg. They'll be getting above flood stage here before too long, and I think the chance for that on some of our other tributaries and rivers on the way as we head into tomorrow. I'll have the very latest on timing and how much we could see coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Folks in Powell County are preparing for possible flooding. Allie Blake is there now with what people are doing to stay safe.
After back-to-back systems and heavy rainfall, waterlogged communities are preparing for the next storm. Powell County Emergency Management says it's important to prepare before the water rises.
Last year, portions of Powell County suffered from catastrophic flooding, and this year they're not taking any chances. The main thing is when water rises and covers roadways, it's important not to drive through them. Just 6 inches of water can move an entire vehicle. Corey Graham is the Public Information Officer for Powell County Emergency Management, and he says they will continue to monitor rivers and creeks.
Fortunately, we are pretty adept at dealing with floods here in Powell County. We have 2 or 3 a year, and especially we've had recently a really catastrophic one that really did a lot of damage in Clay City. So we have a great partnership with neighboring counties. We're prepared to call on them if necessary. Our local fire departments are great. Stanton Fire has a swiftwater rescue team. Recently they acquired a new boat, and they're all on the ready from Middle Fork to Clay City to Stanton. All of our units are ready to move as needed.
If the water starts to go over the riverbanks and cover roadways, it's important to report it to officials so they can make sure they keep others safe. In Powell County, Allie Blake, WKYT.
Well, this month is Career and Technical Education Month, and the Floyd County School District made sure to celebrate. Along with celebrating CTE educators and students, the district reminded folks of CTE's importance to the area, from welding and automotive to nursing and 911 operators. Students in Floyd County get a head start on their potential lifelong careers or education in certain fields with multiple different pathways. But officials say they also get to see their work being used day to day.
They get to see that their live work is being put into action. They get to see their product that they made, and it helps motivate them to say, well, I can do this, I can really do this, and they start to visualize it more than a course, they visualize it more as a career.
Dr. Shannon says around 275 students are currently enrolled at the Floyd County Area Technology Center, and many of them are receiving certifications in trades before they graduate. We'll have more from the Floyd County ATC coming up tonight at 6. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of the death of Ahmed Arberry at the hands of 3 white men. The 3 defendants were convicted on both state and federal charges in the case. CBS's Michael George looks at how Arbery's home state is now commemorating his life.
2 years ago today, 25-year-old Ahmed Arbery's life was tragically cut short. Now his life is being remembered as the state of Georgia marks the first Ahmed Arberry Day. State Representative Sandra G. Scott introduced the resolution.
It is a day for people to reflect, and definitely for the people of Georgia to reflect on why Ahmed Arberry was killed.
Arberry was jogging on February 23rd when he was chased and killed by 3 white men who claimed they suspected him of burglary.
Greg McMichael, guilty.
All 3 were convicted of murder last year, and just yesterday they were also convicted of federal hate crimes. On Ahmed Arberry Day, Georgians are being encouraged to run 2.23 miles in his memory.
We're finding that running invites everybody.
Personal trainer Tyrone Irby lives in Durham, North Carolina. When he saw how Georgia chose to commemorate Arbery's death, he organized his own run. More than 800 participants have signed up. What was it about Ahmed Arberry that touched you personally?
The fact that he was minding his own business, running as he runs most every day, and he's chased down and hunted like an animal, and then shot and killed.
Irby is also asking participants to have a conversation about Arbery's death.
Any young black man can be in danger at any place in this country. And we want people to remember that.
He believes the day is about more than remembering. It's about making sure these kinds of tragedies never happen again. Michael George, CBS News.
Since Arbery's death, Georgia has revised its citizens arrest law and passed a new hate crimes law. All 3 men convicted of his murder are serving life sentences. Only one of them, William Roddy Bryan, has the possibility of parole after 30 years. 19 Austin, Texas police officers have been indicted for their actions during the 2020 George Floyd protests and riots in Texas. Documents released Tuesday say the officers each face 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant. They're accused of intentionally, knowingly, and recklessly causing serious bodily harm. Last week, the Travis County District Attorney said that multiple indictments were forthcoming. The DA said many protesters injured by the officers were just innocent bystanders. If convicted, the officers could face 5 to 99 years or life in prison and a potential fine of up to $10,000. A group of U.S. truckers left California Wednesday on their way to Washington, D.C. to protest coronavirus restrictions. Other smaller convoys are taking place in other parts of the U.S. following similar protests in our northern neighbors in Canada. Their big rigs jammed the streets of Ottawa for weeks to protest vaccine requirements.
We have to stand up for our rights. We're supposed to be the most freest country in the world, and we're being restricted. They're taking away everything from us one at a time, and it has to stop.
The trucks are expected to arrive as the nation prepares for next week's State of the Union address. Heavy vehicles are set up near the entrance to Capitol Hill. The Pentagon has approved the deployment of 700 unarmed National Guard troops to assist with traffic control. Coming up on First at 4, renters are facing more price hikes. We'll tell you how much the rent is going up in some places.
And more potentially heavy rain is on the way as we head into tonight and tomorrow. I'll have the latest timing and totals coming up next.